Hey, everybody, this is Tell the Truth Sports Radio. I'm going to tell you the truth about what happened in the divisional round of the playoffs. I'm going to start with a very good Buffalo game. Buffalo and the Baltimore Ravens. The Bills win by two. When Buffalo drove, they were driving down the field. I don't know. I could look to see. I don't think they didn't punt at all. No punts. I do remember that. They're up and down the field, but they made so many bad mistakes. Now it was a flawless drive to start, and Lamar Jackson was good in this game, and then Buffalo came right back down, which was very important to come down and tie the score at 7. And then Baltimore made a critical error, and Buffalo took advantage of it, scoring off of Lamar Jackson fumble. He had threw a previous interception. He was struggling a little bit. Then Buffalo holds the Ravens. Ravens drive right down the field, and they hold them to 3. It's 14-10. But then Buffalo gets the ball back, and they score to make it 21-10. They score a touchdown. Josh Allen, he's very difficult to tackle when he's at the 5-yard line. It just usually both the Ravens and the Bills were tough in the red zone. Third quarter, Buffalo got clunky. They're running the ball too much. They're not getting nowhere. Baltimore had figured them out. They're getting more stouter on the run. They had to punt a few times. But I believe the biggest play of the game, one of the biggest plays, Derrick Henry was running free, and Damar Hamlin tackled him at the 50-yard line. Derrick Henry was headed for another long touchdown. They held him to 3 points to make it 21-13. So at this point, Buffalo's struggling, but and they're thinking the worst case scenario is it's an 8-point game. So worst case scenario, we pump the ball back to them and they score and tie the game up. But Buffalo was able to mount one good try, kick a field goal. This is where the drama came. They were able to kick yes, they were able to kick the field goal to make it 29-14. And here comes Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. And this is the first, and Andrews dropped the ball. And then I believe he caught the ball on a crossing route. I could look because this was huge. He catches the ball on a crossing route and he gets stripped. And that absolutely cost him. Terrell Bernard, well, the second biggest play other than Hamlin stopping Henry for a touchdown, strips him. Baltimore gets the ball back. They're driving down, and I didn't like their third down call because Josh Allen, they knew that was coming out the middle. They should have on the Baltimore 2-yard line, tush pushes, and it's a touchdown to put the game away. They left the door open. And when it was 27-19, I said to myself, Baltimore's going right down to tie it. And the way they were driving down the field, Lamar Jackson threw the ball across the field with a great pass. They're driving. They score a touchdown. Those they're likely, who's really good. Lamar, and now they're going for a 2-point conversion. Perfect play call. Andrews drops the ball. And now you got to hope for onside kick that's not happening, and Buffalo runs the clock out. Statistically, Lamar Jackson was better because he had the pass more, 18 or 25 and 254 yards, a touchdown, and but he made a couple turnovers. Josh Allen he had to play a more efficient game because they took his scramble away, the way their defense was designed. So he had to dink and dunk down the field, and they weren't. And then Shakir was hurt, so he was not as effective, but he didn't make any mistakes. But Baltimore turned the ball over 4 times. Buffalo turned the ball over no times. They were solid passing game, running game, and that was the key. Baltimore's a better team. If this game's in Baltimore wins by 2 touchdowns. But because it's in Buffalo, that crowd was amazing with the snow. You're like Andrews run the ball. Normally, maybe he doesn't get stripped because the ball's wet. It's in Buffalo. He doesn't understand that. That ball gets stripped. Bernard strips the ball from him. And Cook was the unsung hero. He had 67 tough yards. Johnson was solid. They ran the ball on Baltimore. They didn't run it down their throat, but they ran it effective enough to move the chains and to keep Lamar Jackson on the bench. And then they ran the clock at the end. They kudos to the Buffalo Bills for this big win. And they're going to play the Kansas City Chiefs, who just banged out a 23-14 win over the Texas. Texas kicker was kicking the ball all over the lot, missing kicks and extra points. Can't do that against a tough-minded team like the Chiefs. And playoff Travis Kelce's real. Here comes Travis Kelce. I don't know if it's a Taylor Swift thing, but he had 7 receptions for 117 yards, touchdown play, and 1 touchdown. And he was good. He found the opening in the zone. He is locked in right now. And what I really like, and they're going to need it against Buffalo, I love the way there's a variety of players contributing. Hunt and Pacheco are running the ball well, the 1-2 punch. Xavier Worthy is a little more involved, but you got Hollywood Brown, who's now a part. Now you got to respect that. I like how the Texans, I said this on my pre-show that they would flood the zone. I like how they did, but they made a couple mistakes and breakdowns. You can't do that against the Chiefs. And it's like when teams play the Chiefs and it's close, there is a aura and mystique like the great teams have, the Bulls and the Lakers with Shaq and Kobe, the Yankees with Jeter and them. There's a certain belief when the game is in the fourth quarter. This is just what we do. We're going to find a way at home. We're going to win. It's Arrowhead. It's our destiny to get there. The Bills are on a mission. The Chiefs are on a mission. And I knew in this divisional round, there were, I believe, 5 teams that was thinking about they're going to the Super Bowl. Eagles, the Lions, the Ravens, the Bills, and the Chiefs. And only one could win. So 4 teams are going to get their heart broken. Already it's been the Ravens. And now we talk about the Lions. They got their heart broken. They got bum rushed by Washington. I'm not going to say their name because they're the Redskins, in my opinion. I just won't do it. And they're leading a charge to bring back the Redskin name. Some people believe it's offensive, but the family of the guy who's on the head of the Redskins, if that family wants it back, you got to honor that, regardless of what kind of virtual signal you're going to do. But now, I digress. Washington was fantastic. Jane Daniels looks like, other than Magic Johnson, looks like one of the best rookies I've ever seen in any sport. This guy's ridiculous. Poised, 22 of 31, 299 yards, 2 touchdowns, 122 QBR. But it was the way he ran. Robinson Jr. was good. And Daniels was judicious. He's a great passer who could run. He's not one of those runners and passers combination. His IQ is off the charts. He has tremendous poise on the road. The one guy who really destroyed the Lions was Dyami Brown, who had 6 catches for 98 yards. And McLaren was his usual great self. That little screen pass he ran for 58 yards was big time for a touchdown. They were just, the Redskins defense was made plays. I'm not crazy about their defense, but they made plays. And Goff was bad. Goff threw a couple of bad passes. They were pressing. Once the Lions once they realized Washington's coming to play, they were pressing. They were home. Crowd was crazy. We'll get back to a championship game. We haven't been there since 57. And now here comes Washington messing everything up. And they did. And to me, I'd be remiss not to say the Lions really, no team got ravished with injuries. Hutchinson out, more like the Lions on defense. But I'll say this. You should have won last year. Sometimes you don't get second and third chance. Oh, we'll be back. Maybe you won't ever get back. You were there. The Super Bowl was in your grasp against the 49ers in San Francisco. The whole team was healthy, and they were rolling until Campbell takes a stupid chance on fourth down. He didn't have to do that. And you go on, you probably win the game. You may have beaten the Chiefs in the Super Bowl the way you were playing. So you're thinking, okay, we'll get back. Got a home field play. It don't work like that. Sometimes you never get back. Sometimes there's an opportunity. You get one really good shot. Sometimes you get several good shots, but you get one really good shot. And if you blow that, then you got to come back next year and come all the way back to the playoffs. And now hope you're healthy and hope everything works just like it did before. And it usually doesn't. When you get a chance, you got to jump on it. And maybe the Eagles are going to get a second chance here. They beat the Rams. And it was a rock fight. The Rams, I'm going to tell you something what I liked. The fight of the Rams, which I knew was going to happen. Because once Barkley had a 62-yard run and a 78-yard run. And they were up 28-15 with 4:47 left. And I figured that's game. But here comes the Rams quickly downfield. They get the ball back, and they are driving for a game-winning score. And Stafford missed a core. He was covered well on 4th and 15. But Jalen Carter was the hero with the big sack on Matthew Stafford. And Jalen Carter's been great. The Eagles were solid on defense, but the Eagles are kind of clunky. Maybe they put it all together next week against the Washington, but that's a great game too. I mean, next weekend when it comes to the NFC and AFC championships are going to be epic because can Jaden Downs be the first rookie to ever lead his team to a Super Bowl? Because Burrow was the second year, Brady was the second year, Roethlisberger, who many consider had his best rookie season ever, that was his second year that he won it. And Roethlisberger was good till the playoffs. He had a great rookie year, best rookie year ever. And until the playoffs, he was okay. Not Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels was fantastic in the regular season. He was fantastic yesterday. Can he go into the link and beat the Eagles? The way the Eagles are playing, that's possible. I have to look and see where I want to go, direction I want to go in that. But Buffalo, Kansas City is a toss-up because neither team turned the ball over, and both defenses love to create turnovers. Now, I don't trust the Bills kicker, but he did kick well today. You may be talking about a double overtime type of game next week. So I got everything right. I picked the Chiefs in overtime. It wasn't quite like that because of the bad field goal kicking of the Texans. It was headed down. I picked I said I wasn't sure about Buffalo and Baltimore. It was a pickup, and Buffalo ended up winning because they were home. And then I said that Detroit will blow the Washington team out. And Detroit Lions fell flat in the face, and Washington was off the charts. Their defense, which I'm not crazy about, they have pieces, they plays. You better make some plays next week against Jalen. You better keep Barkley from 78, 63, 59-yard long runs. You better do that. Because every time he gets the ball, you think he's taking it to the house. But next week is going to be so good. I'm going to try to get Jeffrey Miller of Buffalo on. And that's after I'm going to try to do my national championship show tomorrow.